everyone, and welcome to Fiberdragon. This is episode 17. Yeah. My name is Jessica. I'm also known as Iekikadragon, and I am here to talk to you all about my knitting, crafting, crocheting, and gaming, and life. So, it's been a minute. I definitely thought I was going to record while I was on my road trip, and that didn't happen. So, whoopsie daisies. I also took, if I normally work on 3 projects at a time, and I was like, okay, I'll only take 2, and I was like, I'll get so much knitting done. That also didn't happen. So, yeah, I guess when I'm on a road trip and I'm the only driver, I obviously don't have time to knit while I'm driving, and also I'm pretty tired at the end, so don't knit much when we're stopped. So it was just kind of surprising to me how much I did not do, but let's get into the good stuff, and I'll show you what I've been working on and what I've gotten done since I got home, mostly. And yeah, let's just do that. Okay, I'm trying a new recording device, so I'm not exactly sure where to look or how this is working, but we'll see. So let's get into the good stuff. My oldest project on the needles right now is actually on my crochet hook, and that is my Infinity Blanket by Maxim. This one did not come on the road trip with me. I figured it would be too big and bulky. Go figure. So this yarn is Starlette yarn in red wine and natural. Yes, natural. It's been on my needles now for 60 days. That includes the time that I did not work on it at all. I didn't look at it, didn't touch it, nothing. So there's my progress keeper. This is what I've done since I've gotten home. And this angle is very strange because of it's working up the rectangular. So if you've been here before, you've heard me talk about I'm done increasing and I'm working on the rectangular, what they call the rectangle portion of this blanket. That's a pretty good angle of it. You can see how much I did. But here's the odd part about it. Okay, so I'm no longer increasing, which is fine. My brain understands this. This side, I do something a little bit different, and it's causing this sharp, rectangular, flat portion here. Like if you can see, I've been working this diagonal increasing, and then all of a sudden I have this flat portion here. Okay, that also makes sense to me. But then, on this side of the blanket, you don't work it in the same way. You continue working the increases. What? Why? So I don't know what's happening. I don't know. I guess one side will be longer and then this side just kind of flattens out. And I've checked the directions several times to make sure that I'm reading it right. It really makes me wonder if I'm misunderstanding something or what's happening. I don't understand. So the blanket may be wonky, maybe it's correct, and it will make sense to me when I start decreasing. I'm not really sure. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. And I'm really looking forward to getting to I still haven't woven in the ends. I haven't done anything. I'm really looking forward to getting to the decreases because then it starts going faster. You really feel like you're finishing up. And I do have several color changes to go to do that. What is happening? Like this made sense to me, but then there's gonna be, I don't understand this rectangle section at all. And I guess if it really starts to bug me, whoa, my computer just turned off, so I don't know if my recording just turned off. No, this is fine. I need to change all my settings. I reset my computer, everything's wackadoodle. Just have to touch my mouse every now and then so the screen doesn't go to sleep, I guess. Anyway, it's interesting. If this really starts to bother me that they are not even on either side, I can rip it out and just do the decreases, I guess, but I don't know what's happening. So I am going to go ahead and move the progress keeper before I forget, and it has to stay on this side of the work because of how I have to work the increases and decreases and things like that. Move it in a little bit so that it doesn't mess anything up. Okay, so I've moved my Blue Ringed Octopus by JoJo's Art Studio. Put it in front of my face. Does that help it focus? It's fine. I'll figure it out. You're on this crazy journey with me. I'm so sorry. Welcome back. Welcome back to my crazy. Oh, what'd you think of me trying this intro? In theory, it's working. So now. So yeah, I'm still enjoying this project. It is huge. I like how I thought it was going to be a cute little throw blanket, and that, you know, you just kind of toss over a chair or whatever. No, it's going to be pretty much a full-size blanket, even though it says throw blanket. I think my idea of a throw blanket is smaller than apparently the standard, because I don't want a lap blanket. That's too small in my mind. Maybe I'm thinking of a lap blanket, but these are huge. So anyway, I'm continuing on. It will get done and they can do with it what they will. It may not end up in the area that I thought it would. It may not be what they thought it would, because that is a gift for my dad. It will be a surprise to all of us. Okay, my next work that I've had the longest is my Cercis top by Amelie Designs. Y'all, I am in love with this top. This is what I want to work on. This is what I want to be doing. I am loving this top. I love it. The yarn isn't coming across quite as colorful as it actually is, but so I took this on the trip with me. I didn't touch it, not once, and I'm not really sure why I did that. I couldn't tell you, but I didn't touch it on the trip, so absolutely no work was done. So the only work that I have done has been since I've gotten home. So there's my Terry the Mantis Shrimp progress keeper. So I think I did a couple inches. Yeah, I think I did a good couple inches, but that's only since I've been back from the trip. But this is what I want to be working on. I'm enjoying it so much. I love the detail of the pattern continuing on the underarm. So you'll see I've split for the sleeves and the pattern continues down. And I just think that is so much fun. I love the color gradient. We're getting into, most of the time as I'm pulling the yarn out now, it's starting to look a little bit pink, even though it's got that peach flesh color inside of it. Oh, I forgot to tell you the details. So this has been on my needles now for 38 days. And it's Wollelfe yarn in the color Peach Blush. And so this is really like the flesh of the peach color, and this is a cream. That's coming across pretty true, maybe slightly darker. And so I'm just ecstatic, and I think I'm going to start fading into a little bit deeper pink here soon. Oh, maybe not as soon as I thought, because it doesn't really start changing until about here. So maybe, I don't know how far down I'm going to make it before it really starts changing again. And I have decided I'm going to, on the sleeves, work from the other end so that each sleeve will have like a dark pink. So it'll be a fairly sharp contrast here on the sleeves. And depending on how long I make them, I still haven't decided whether I want to do short or 3/4. But I'm going to pull from the end here, so it'll be this dark color. And it will be a sharp contrast, but I figure it'll be getting darker. My screen just went black again. It will be getting darker down lower, so it'll make it look, I don't know. I think it'll look fine, and if it looks weird, I can just bind off and leave it like it is and just have it be kind of a cap sleeve. So that's the beauty of making my own garments. I am absolutely in love with this fabric. I did finally get it on the try it on tubing. What a hot mess. And tried it on, and I had that moment of panic of, oh my gosh, the sleeves are too tight. And I remembered then, I think I've already even talked to you about this, on my waist yarn, obviously it is not the entire armhole, so it's going to be just fine. So I had that moment of panic, but it went away. And I love it on. I love the feel of this fabric. It is, I believe it's Malabrigo and silk. I might have to double check that. But I'm in love with this project. I can't wait to work on it. I want to work on it right now. So yeah, that's where I'm at with this. Move the progress keeper. This one, it doesn't matter where the progress keeper ends up because it just doesn't matter. Clip one lower. There we go. So yeah, I didn't touch this on my trip, and like I said, I have no idea why. But there we have it. So that is that. I might leave this out so I can work on it when I'm talking to you about other things, but we'll see. Okay, my final work in progress has actually changed because I forgot to do my finished object first. So let's go ahead and do my finished object first, and then we'll do my final work in progress. So my finished object, I finished my snake socks. I also took these on the trip. And this was the only thing I was able to work on the trip. So you'll see here, and I have this progress keeper. These are VK yarns, red bellied black snake socks. And if you remember from ages ago, I had done the heel, but I hadn't done the turn. So I had forgotten the heel turns, and I had started working on the foot. So I had to rip it back, did the heel turn, and started working on it again. So I finished this sock. Now, I can't remember in the last episode if I had actually, I can't remember where I was. I don't remember. And I still haven't woven in the ends. That's just laziness on my part. And then I finished the second sock. So this sock I actually finished while we were on the road trip. We stopped at an indoor water park, and while the children had free rein to run around and go play, I needed a break because my back was a little sore. So I sat down at a central location and brought my knitting and worked on my sock at the water park. And it was fine, and it was fun. So I did finish this, and not much to say about it other than I'm glad they're done. I do need to weave in the ends, but I'm glad they're done. I think that these will probably be very wearable, versatile socks, but they weren't my favorite to work on. Go figure. I think I can wear them with a lot of things. They just, the color wasn't super inspiring for me, even though I love the color combo, and I love the speckling. The yarn is beautiful. It's nothing against the yarn. I just wasn't feeling very inspired to work on it, I guess, for whatever reason. The pattern I use for these socks is a combination of me just making stuff up for the cuff, using Summer Lee's basic sock pattern, and Nitty Natty's elongated toe. because if you will look, if you can see, it's ever so slight. This side decreases faster at what is kind of the normal wedge toe than this side. So this side's slightly longer. That's where my big toe is. So yeah, and she did give me a little tip where you can put a purl bump. I don't know how I'm going to be able to, I'll have to mess with this a little bit. But you put a little purl bump. Can't see it in real, like just in general every day, but in case you forget, it lets you know which side is the toe, big toe side, quickly and easily, in case you're having one of those days. So just have to weave in the ends. I consider these off my needles, even though they aren't, you know, the ends aren't woven in, they're done. So these were on my needles for 29 days, which is a really long time, but that's okay. Like I said, I had a rough go with these. And that's okay, that happens. Sometimes you slog through and you get the project done. Sometimes you put them aside. Things like that happen. So I'm happy that I got them done because I do want this series to be a complete series. So speaking of that, I am now on the final yarn grouping in this series, and this is still by VK Yarns. It is called Humans, and I think I'm going to be calling them my Voodoo Socks because I'm hoping it's not blacking out every time that I forget to touch my screen. I really need to change that. So I'm calling them my Voodoo Socks because the stitch marker reminds me of a voodoo doll, and that's just the way it is. Okay, so here we go. Ta-da! If there was ever chaos in a pair of socks, this is it. So, okay. I didn't even put the progress keeper on because I started these and had not made any progress. So let me pull out the progress keeper. Also by JoJo's Art Studio. Isn't that adorable though? I think that's super cute. I love the progress keeper. Pure chaos. So look, I love colorful things. I love bright colors. And this mini, the color combination is my jam. It is very similar to the Mantis Shrimp Socks. But there is so much going on in this sock. I guess the good news is it will go with everything because there's every color inside of it. Literally every color. There's red, there's pink, there's orange, yellow, blue, green, purple, I mean, white, black, obviously. Chaos, pure chaos. So I'm knitting it in the same pattern as the others, not that you can tell. So I've got the two stripes with the center stripe, and then I've got the main body of color, and then I've got the heel flaps, which I almost forgot to do the heel turn again, almost. I don't know what's going on with me with that. Wow, I love the colors. There's not really any pooling happening. There will be these little blobs, but there's not really any pooling happening. The striping that's coming out in the mini is nice. I think that is my favorite portion, right on the bottom of the heel where you will never see it. It's been fun because I don't know what to expect, but I think I'm done. I should have saved the Mantis Shrimp Socks for last, and I knew I should have done it, but I couldn't resist. So these are great fun. I think I will really enjoy them once they are done. However, if I were to make these socks again, I would just do them in the solid, not put the mini in, because for me personally, it is too much. I never thought I'd say it. It goes a little too far. And I didn't think I'd ever say it. So yes, if I ever knit socks with this yarn again, it will just be in the main color. And they are fun, and it skeins up in such a fun way. It's great fun, but it's just so much. And then where's the mini? The mini looks almost exactly like the mantis shrimp. I think there's more pink in it than the mantis had. Wow. So I'm gonna finish them. I'm gonna get it done. The only time I've been working on these right now is these are my on the goes, because obviously life is getting a lot more busy. The kids are back in school, sports are starting up, and we're also out of our braces, so life has just gotten busier again. So these are my on the go socks. I will be, oops, I'm dropping stitches. What would an episode be without me dropping something? Usually stitches. So anyway, I take them to my physical therapy appointments that I walk to. I take them, if I've got just a few minutes in the car, I'll start taking them to sports events. They'll probably be done shortly if that's the case. So that's about it. Mostly I want to work on my shirt, but this is a quick, light grab and go, and it's in a nice bag. It's like my favorite go bag. It's just my favorite project bag right now. And so that's those. Those have been on my needles for 5 days today. And I am going to change filming days, so all those numbers are going to be shorter, but now that we're back in school and things are working, I think I will be able to do that now. I think change filming days, make my life easier, and then get these up regularly on Mondays. Although I did just find out, I was catching up on my watching things, and I was watching some of my favorite podcasts, and one of them is Wool Needle's Hands, and she just made an announcement that she's going to start putting out her videos on Mondays now. So I'm like, oh gosh, well, I guess it's fine. I mean, I tried to fill in a day that didn't have many people with knitting podcasts putting out things that day. There are definitely some, and some that I watch regularly, but there just weren't as many on Mondays. So maybe it'll switch, maybe not, but whatever the case, it's fine. It's going to be great, and I will continue to put them out as they come. As far as gaming goes, I did not play a single game while I was on break because I was on break. I did take a laptop with me, but it just wasn't working out. So I think I'm in the pattern. I think I have to stop because I don't even have my phone here. Disaster. So I had to stop gaming while I was gone, so I didn't play. I believe some of them were postponed anyway, and some of them they played on, but I can't swear to that for either because I was really out of touch. What did happen is this past weekend that happened, all my games kicked back up again. So I have my homebrew game on Saturday where I play Okesh the Cleric, and in that one we were taking some prisoners back that we had that needed to be interrogated by some people in the town. And all that happened, it was a shorter episode that day, shorter session, not episode. And so we started the trek back. We got in our camp one night, we were ambushed by these Nothic-like creatures, which are creatures that can read your mind and are kind of scary and can do mind spells. So we were struggling with it a little bit. I was even a good cleric and cast guidance, which is supposed to help, not guidance, bless. I cast bless, which is supposed to help with saving throws, and we were still having a little bit of a rough go. But then it picked up, we were able to go, and we ended up winning the day. We did unfortunately lose one of our prisoners, so that kind of was unfortunate. But the main prisoner, the main guy that we were supposed to bring back, that they definitely wanted, we saved. So hooray. And he said, we're just gonna say, okay, you guys have made it back to town, and then we'll pick up from there. That game is not streamed. That one's just for us and for fun. The other game, the Dungeons and Dragons game, Tomb of Annihilation, is currently being postponed for several weeks. I think a month, because for reasons. How do you like those details? And so we ended up, those of us that can play, ended up playing on Saturday a different game. We ended up playing a one-shot. So instead of playing Wollelfe, my barbarian, I was able to play Hellpup, who is a witch. And Hellpup has a familiar called Flappy, and it was a little leather bat, and we were all toys, and it was fabulous. So the game was called The Great Toy Heist, and we had to go and find a property deed to save our toy maker toy shop. So we are all sentient toys. I got to play Hellpup, like I said, and he's this little leather cotton stuffed doll, so basically a stuffed animal that looks like a hellhound, and it was great. And Flappy is just a little piece of leather that came off and turned into my familiar, which was a little leather bat. So stinking cute. We also had, oh no, I'm forgetting all their names now. We had a little stuffed rabbit that was Cutie Kill Stuff. How cute is that name? We had a marionette. What was the marionette's name? I don't remember the marionette's name, who was a rogue, I believe. Made some amazing shots in the thing because they would recall knowledge, be able to have the bad guy become flat-footed. This is a Pathfinder game. Have the bad guy be able to come flat-footed, so then they could have sneak attack damage even though there was no allies right next to whoever they were fighting. It was so cool. It was great. I wish I could remember the character's name. We also had, I can't remember any of their names. Oh my gosh. We also had a little anyway, it was supposed to be like a little D&D mini. So there was that guy, Little John. He was a ranger. And then there was a dragon who was a monk, a little stuffed dragon. So there was me, the marionette, the bunny, the little stuffed dragon. I'm forgetting somebody. Why does my brain do this to me? Okay. There was the bunny, the mini, the D&D mini, the marionette, the dragon, and me. I was forgetting me. So yeah, so those are all the characters. We had a wonderful time. I thought it was so much fun. It was a one-shot. That is, Pepperial did stream it on Twitch, but it is now also available on YouTube if you're interested in that. And that was my gaming. Tonight we will be playing Pathfinder Agents of Edgewatch, where I play Hydrangea Heatherfoot, an investigator bard. What are we doing in that game? I don't remember. This is a disaster. I know that we're still working on clearing our names. So our names have been cleared, but there's still a lot of work that needs to be done to get the people captured that were causing the problems. So I know that's what we're doing, but I don't remember exactly where we were. I don't remember. One of these days, my brain has to start working again. Other than that, what have I been watching? Well, I did watch Passengers. I know that this movie is several years old now, but this is the first time I've watched it. It is about two people in space, and they are supposed to be traveling, I think, to another planet, but they get woken up early and how they deal with that and how they cope with that and what happens. It is a great movie, I felt like, and a little sad, but it was really good. So I enjoyed that. And then I also started watching Critical Role Season 1, the Vox Machina series. And I watched all of Season 2, and I watched pieces of Season 1. And I watched what they did on the animated stuff on Netflix. So I kind of know what's coming up and what has happened. But I felt like actually watching the gameplay. So I did start watching Season 1 from the very beginning. The audio issues in the beginning are a little bit rough to deal with, but you get through it because, you know, everybody starts somewhere, as evidenced by this hot mess of a video that's happening right now. And other than that, I caught up on my knitting videos that I did not watch the entire time that I was on the trip. So just all my favorites. And that was about it because I was a busy bee lately. So thank you so much for joining me. I know that this video has been a long time coming. I really did think I was going to record on the trip, so I apologize. But I'm happy to be back, and I'm happy to be sharing with you. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I know sometimes it's slow. My projects don't change very quickly, but that's my reality of knitting, and I just love to share it with you. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.